and welcome to another edition of Burton Ball.
So today we've got a quick transfer roundup, and today then we're going to be talking about players who may be leaving as well as players who may be coming in. So before we get into the transfer roundup,
don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on all post notifications so you'll be notified when we make a video, which you unlock when you subscribe. Share this video and comment down below your opinions on this transfers and selling it.
and be the first to comment, like
Blue's Backyard.
Blue's Backyard. Yeah.
Shout out to Blue's Backyard.
So shout out to Blue's Backyard. He always tries to be the first to comment. You could beat Blue's Backyard in the comment section. We'll see. That's a challenge for you. Right. So first we're going to do our Havertz daily update because the news is changing every day, and his club are paving the way for him to go there. You know why? They did a tribute to him. They've made a two-part series of a tribute for Kai Havertz, and I was watching a bit of it. I couldn't understand any of it because it's all done in German, so I need to find a good translate site. But they are, I think it's a farewell video that they're doing for him, so they're preparing the way for him to move to Chelsea. And you always hear
Chelsea. Imagine if all this hype, like Van Leverkusen, like does all this thing on their site and then just it's just for Liverpool.
No. There's no other club. I'm assured that there's no other club in for him. Chelsea are the only club that are in for him. That's why everyone's kind of relaxed at the moment. And if this is to be true, this means that no other club are bidding for him because there's a report by Ian McGarry on his podcast. But you know this guy Ian McGarry, I wouldn't take what he says as gospel because this same journalist said that Chelsea were not going to be getting Werner. He said there's no chance Chelsea are going to get Werner. He only wants Liverpool. And 2 days later, he signs for Chelsea. So I'll say this guy. Yeah, it is embarrassing. So apparently, according to him, I'll just say what he said anyway, although I don't quite believe it. He said that we put in a bid of £54 million. We had our opening bid for Havertz of £54 million. So that's 45 million upfront and 9 million in add-ons. Some of it could be true because obviously that we're the only club in for him, and Marina, she's a smart negotiator, so she knows that they want 90 million. But would you insult them by putting in half the amount that they want? No, 100 million euros. So that's less than half of what they want. So unless obviously with negotiations, sometimes the selling club is going to go really high, the buying club is going to go really low, with the hope of meeting somewhere in the middle. So that's maybe what's happening at the moment. But he reckons that the first official bid has been put in, so it's up to Bayer Leverkusen as to how they want to respond. Other reports I'm hearing on the Havertz deal is that we are just waiting for them to get knocked out of the Europa League before we make the deal official. So we don't know. Rangers, they've got the second leg of Rangers, so they should beat Rangers. I think they were 3-1 up in the first leg, so they should. And then after it's like a knockout tournament, a mini knockout tournament with only one leg. So, and I think the next one is Inter Milan or someone like that. So they probably get knocked out in the next one, hoping. So we'll see what happens. And moving on now, Ben Chilwell, I don't know, because that's who Frank Lampard wants above everyone else. And I was listening to a podcast called The Byline with Alex Goldberg. If anyone hasn't signed up for that podcast, who's interested in Chelsea content, then I recommend you give it a listen. It's only £1.20 a month or something like that, so it's quite cheap. And I was listening to it on my hour's walk, my fitness regime today, plug. So I was doing an hour's walk and I was listening to it today, and he said that he's received some inside information because he's quite well connected with some of the journalists who he interviews on this podcast. And apparently the feeling at Chelsea is that there's a confidence that we can get this deal for between 45 to 50 million pounds then. So obviously in the newspaper we're hearing 80 million pounds or whatever. So my question to everyone, comment below guys, question to you is, if we can get this deal over the line for between 45 and 50 million, will you be prepared for Ben Chilwell? What do you think?
Well, he's a left back and he's very good, so his English and his answer.
Yeah, so I keep saying, because some people don't rate. I do rate him, but my thing has always been that I thought it's a bit overpriced. But for me, 45 to 50 million, then yeah, I'll take him for that sort of money. Nothing more than 50. I've always stood by that stance. I wouldn't go over 50 million for Chilwell. So let us know what you think. Comment below, guys. Let us know your feelings. How much are you prepared to pay for someone of Ben Chilwell's quality? Declan Rice in the Telegraph report as well is obviously Chilwell and Rice are the two players we want. And Rice divides opinion, but for me, our side lacks leadership, and we saw that again in the FA Cup. Rice shows some, I've seen West Ham a few times since we've been in with him, and he's got great leadership qualities. We need someone in the John Terry type leadership, and I think because he loves Chelsea, he's always talked about Chelsea as his favourite club, and his family are all Chelsea supporters. I think he'll feel the club. I think he can come in and give us some of those leadership qualities that we're lacking. So it's not always about ability. I think he's got ability, but it's also about finding the right balance between good players and leaders. So that's what I think it'll be good to have him on board. But
have we sold Ethan Ampadu?
No. Ethan Ampadu, I think he's a good leader as well. I like his leader. I think he can come in and be a leader.
Is he on loan or is he still
He's on loan to RB Leipzig, so I think he's back now because of RB Leipzig are still playing in the Champions League. So I think he may stay with them until the Champions League campaign, then come back to Chelsea.
Imagine RB Leipzig win the Champions League and Warner just.
Yeah, but I don't think that. Yeah, but that's why I admire him, the fact that he was willing to miss out on Champions League to come and start straight away at Chelsea. So that makes me love him even more. But anyway, so the Telegraph report, which I mentioned about Chilwell and Rice, were in there. But it also said that Chelsea have to offload some of their players in order to bring these guys in. So we're going to quickly talk about some of the players. They said Jorginho's up for sale. No, we know why anyway. Yeah, so Jorginho, we all know that he's not suited for the Premier League. And so we all know that Franks wants to get rid of him. So Jorginho is going to be up for sale. And they said one of Christensen, Zuma or Rudiger. No, one of centre backs. For me, if I had to choose one of those three to offload, I'll choose Christensen. Who would you choose? Yeah, I don't like. Everyone knows that I'm not a great fan of Rudiger. But the only reason I'll have Rudiger in here, and it's not because I was listening to Alex Goldberg on the podcast, but I said this as well before I listened to the podcast. I think that Rudiger should stay only because we've got two Germans coming in, obviously, and he can help them to settle and integrate into the team. I wouldn't have Rudiger as a starter neither. For me, he's going to be the backup centre half, so he's got to realise that he's not going to be a starter in that position. But for the qualities that he can bring by helping them to settle in their first season, that's invaluable. So I will have him there.
And he's good at bringing players in as well.
Yeah. So he's a great agent. So there may be a couple of other Germans that we may be interested in that he can help us bring in. So maybe. So from that point of view, I'll keep him. Christensen, and also the reason I'll sell Christensen is because I think that we can get a higher value than some of the other players because he's still quite well thought of in Europe. Barcelona were after him a couple of seasons ago, so I think we can get some money for him, some decent money, 35 to 40 million for him. And I think he'll do Christensen. And I think he'll do well in Europe. I think he'll do well in maybe the Liga or Italy, where it's less physical. Yeah. And Emerson, he looks like he's on his way as well. He's not in Lampard's plans, I don't think. And something, Michy Batshuayi, the other day I heard he's finally resigned to leaving Chelsea and he's looking for another club as well. So Batshuayi, because he hasn't played a lot, I don't think we're going to get anything more than 25. I think Chelsea are looking for something like 35 to 40. I think that's quite ambitious actually. So for him, I think around about 25 to 30 million we'll get for Michy Batshuayi. Yeah. I think that's his value. That's not Chelsea's value, but that's how much I think other clubs will be prepared to pay for him. And so in the final story, Zane, I always try to do a non-Chelsea related one, and it's Jadon Sancho to Manchester United again, because that's heating up. It's intensifying. There's lots of reports from different outlets now, and the latest is that Manchester United are prepared to pay the 120 million euros for him because they're desperate. That's why. So they're prepared to pay 120 million euros to get him into the club, but and Dortmund are prepared to sell him because they've always been asking for 120, but they've set a deadline for Manchester United of the 10th of August. So they want everything done and dusted by the 10th of August so they can start planning for the future without Sancho. So if we don't hear anything by the 10th of August, we're not sure whether the deal can go through or yet. So that's a date to look forward. I don't think we'll go for him and Havertz. Because come on, look at the money, outlay. We can't afford. We have to choose. I know, but we have to choose our targets. So our one big sell at buy is probably going to be Havertz. Manchester United's one big buy is going to be probably Sancho. So you're going to have one massive buy, then the others are going to be sort of still maybe big outlays, but not the 100 million or whatever. So no, we won't pay 100 million for Havertz, but he's probably going to break our record transfer. So we're going to probably pay around about 75 million for him.
Was Werner only like about 50 million?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Was it like 20?
No, it's 30 something. Yeah. Right. Anyway, so that's a roundup for today. So let us know your thoughts, guys, and comment below on all the topics that we've discussed. So we'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on all these stories. So until the next time, guys.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all post notifications so you'll be notified when I make a video, and also turn on post notifications so you'll be notified from the comment, share the video, and comment.
Okay, cheers. Bye bye.